Hey everybody, just wanted to kind of go over something I've been seeing a lot of comments for on the videos, and that is, what kind of class setup do I have here? What is my build? And a lot of questions about taming and things like that as well. So just kind of wanted to touch base on my character, um, how I got it up to, GM and above, and, kind of where I went, how I did it, uh, and also some of the ins and outs of getting your first tame, where to level up the tame, and of course the question that I get asked the most of it, and that is where do you get the rares, the legendaries, the exotics? And I'm going to touch base on all of those in a series here of just how I tame. So, first thing you're going to do, obviously, you're going to create your character. You'll be in New Haven, so we'll pop over there, kind of get a good idea of how to get taming started. Head over to New Haven. So when you make your character, you're going to obviously want to put your points in taming. I wouldn't do animal lore. It's extremely simple to raise. So I would just do taming. And then right here, you've got your trainer, and he's going to be able to train you in veterinary, animal taming, and animal lore. Real quick here, I'll kind of go over the skill set that I use. So you've got your free skills, obviously, that you can take advantage of. One of the main ones that I absolutely recommend is hiding, tracking, remove trap, and lock picking. All of those, in my opinion, are essential. If you don't like treasure maps, don't worry about cartography, but I love treasure maps, so cartography is also one that's pretty easy to get up there and do just by making maps. So, but the first thing is animal lore. I do 115, animal taming 115, archery, bushido 100, chivalry 80, tactics 100, and veterinary 110, just for the additional healing. Not a ton, but as much as you'll see, you start to heal your pets, during combat. Every little bit matters. So I chose to lower my archery down 10 points in order to get veterinary up another 10. Really happy that I. So once you get this going with this guy, you can actually just find. Usually, there's a bunch of people at the banks that have pets that aren't, obviously ridden. And there's also a couple of other areas that you can just find a pet or an animal to train animal lore on. It's extremely simple. There's just a ton of scripts out there that you can use, or we can actually look at script that I use for animal lore. Let's see where so real simple. Use skill animal lore. Wait for target. You don't have to wait 5,000. That's just what I did. But if you wanted to go a lot faster, you can obviously, do it. Uh, but the hardest part is just obviously getting the tame to do that. In the beginning, you should have enough gold to grab your first horse. At which point, you have no problem getting your animal up on that. So once you get animal lore raised up, it's only going to be 100. You've got to get power scrolls to do anything more than that. There are a couple ways to get those power scrolls. One, you can do champ spawns. Those are a little later game. But I see people all the time with fresh characters going in and doing the champ spawns. So as long as you do enough damage or kill enough creatures, you'll be able to get a roll on those scrolls. Typically, I get 4 to 6, depending on what champ spawn it is and if there's a bonus going on. So it's a really fast way to get scrolls, and then of course at that point it's just RNG whether or not you get animal lore, animal taming, veterinary, that kind of stuff. The other option would be to go to vendor search, and then I'll clear this out. Just go down here to miscellaneous, go up to power scrolls, and at which point you'll just type in animal, and it'll bring up both animal lore and animal taming. As you can see, you got 105 is pretty low. Go up a little bit more, you'll see 110 animal taming for 9,000. That's a really, really good start. That'll put you in the ballpark in the category of being able to do the coups, which are excellent tames, especially for intermediate, and even I see some people using them late game. Wonderful pet. You can either tame your own, which is a little more difficult to do, but you know, obviously starting out, or you can find one on the auction as well. So there's animal taming 110. Animal lore is usually cheaper, but I mean, you'll be able to scroll through here and see, you know, what exactly is available. You can get gold pretty quick, even in the new dungeon right here. So just keep an eye on the vendor search, get as much gold as you can, raise those up, you know, obviously, as soon as you can. Secondly, you want to come out here and you're going to start off, excuse me, on the smaller critters. You're going to be doing the goats, doing anything that you can really see that you can tame, and it says you have a chance to, you want to tame that. And you will just tame it, release it, and then move on to the next one. A lot of players will name these like training, and that is because you don't want to try to tame the same creature again because you won't get points. So it's important to be able to identify what creatures that you have already tamed. That way you're not wasting your time, you know, going into that. Especially if it's something that's difficult to tame. You don't want to spend, you know, 2-3 minutes trying to get it and realize, oh man, I didn't get any points. So just you can check right here. It'll show you. This requires 11 taming skill to tame. So this one's actually probably going to be a little easy, especially if you get up to like 30-40 points based off the trainer. So you can actually animal lore these creatures though, and you can see what it takes to tame them. So this one is sitting right at 29. This would be a great pet to tame in the initial game for two reasons. One, obviously, get you more mobile. You're going to be able to run around on a mount. To obviously tame their stuff, the faster the better. And secondly, obviously it'll raise your. Let's see this guy. This guy requires 23, so that'd be another one you could grab. And then I think these. So one of the wolves, maybe it's kind of a different one, but it's a little bit more difficult to get. But you can literally get up to about 65, I believe, here, right here in New Haven. And then, of course, there's other places you can go to, you know, maintain getting up all the way to, I say 90, because once you're 90, you'll have the ability to use the animal mastery to get all the way up to whatever, you know, obviously your max skill is very, very quickly just by training your pet that way. Let's see. Come here, little doe, Bambi. Don't know anything offhand. Oh, okay. So this one requires 23, another great one to start off on whenever you get out here and you're just beginning tame. So as you move around, you'll see other things like bears. And just one thing to keep in mind, these guys have named these so they don't get skill on them anymore. But if you want to tame it, that does not mean you would not get skill anymore. So as long as you haven't tamed it yet, you can still you know, you can tame it again and get skill even if it's got a different name on it. Showing this. Okay, so let's see. These are great getting skill up. 59.1. So these great hearts will get you pretty deep into the animal taming. Once you get, I believe it's 69.9 or 69.1 or something like that, you can actually go to another area and tame something called the Gamon, and that will actually allow you to get all the way up to 90 pretty quickly. And of course, I'm going over this with you with no script. So this is, I guess, a more difficult way than scripting everything. I personally did it by hand only because I enjoyed taming stuff, and it was fun to me to go through that. But once you get to around 69 skill, you'll come over here to Homer Jima, and these are what you're looking for. Gamon, they don't attack you, and they get your skill all the way up very quickly to 90. So as you can see, yeah, required, okay, 68.7, it looks pretty close. 68.7, so it seems like they're all the same. So I tamed here. I didn't know about the animal mastery trick, so I tamed here all the way up to, or maybe it was 110. But yeah, my wife got to 90, came here, or my wife got to the 60 that 8 that she needed, came here, and then tamed these up to 90, and then I helped the rest with it. And I'll go over that in just so. Once you get to 90 here, and it's just 90, you'll go ahead and go back to your house. And the rest of this is extremely easy. So you'll just pop in, find an area that you can kind of relax. And what you'll do is you'll hit your animal mastery, which is your combat training. And in order to get this, you have to have a book of masteries. They're about 10K on the vendor search. I'm going to show that right now. So you'll pop in here. Let's just type in masteries. And so you'll see a book of mastery. Yep, 10,000. So for 10,000, you buy this, and then you have to go in and you have to. Let's just type in taming, and you'll want at least level 1 or volume 1 of animal taming. So with this and the book of masteries, you're looking at 13,000. That's not too bad, especially once you're getting the higher level pets and you're farm a lot more gold. At that point, you will activate the primer, which is what you just bought for 3,000, and then you'll go into your book of masteries, left click it once and switch mastery, and you'll want to get it to animal taming. So once you do that, you can open up the book, scroll all the way to the back, and not only do you get boarding, which is really cool, allows you to stable more pets, but you'll want to pop these two out. Whispering is extremely important as well, and we'll get to that in a little bit. But combat training is what's going to allow you to skill up your animal training very, very quickly. And how you do that is you just press combat training, click on your pet, and then you exit out. Doing that, you can do it as quick as your script will allow you to do it. And pop, pop, pop. That's going to increase your skill every single time you do it. It doesn't cost you anything to do. And as long as you have a pet, you're able to do it. So from 90 to 120, even if you wanted to, you know, just get a decent script running with it. It's very simple to do the scripting on it, and I'll show you guys that as well, just in case you are not familiar with scripting. So you'll just say new, you'll record, and then you'll just hit it again. Pop it onto your pet, and then I don't think you have to do anything with this. Stop recording, and this right here says 10,000. That's actually going to be 10 seconds. That's what it equates to. Let's just move this down to 2,500. And then do is play. And as you can see, he's going to do it. Boing. So as he does that, what you'll do is you'll save this. And you'll just name it test. Well, you guys will name it what you want to, but I'm just going to name it test. And then you exit out. Go back into Razor. You will go ahead and put add. And it will bring up your script file here. And you'll go down to whatever you named it. Add it in. At that point, it'll be on your list. So right here, the biggest mistake you can make is pressing play and then walking away from the computer, going to make a sandwich or going to the store, whatever it may be, and not realizing that you didn't hit loop. So make sure you hit loop and then press play. And then as you can see, when you're obviously sitting here, your pet will continuously be doing that. And as you're doing that, it will skyrocket your animal taming skill. So that's a really good way to get that up very quickly. Stop that. The other one that you need to use for Razor to really help you out is if you're over here. Now, this is a good way to do it as well. I like this. It's very quick, you know, just a pop, 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 pop. But if you go into Razor, you can also do your agents and then go over to bandage heal. You want to enable that, auto start on login. And before you enable, set the target to your pet. And then, of course, you can also put down here like how long you want to start. So it takes 2 seconds to bandage on this server. So custom delay, I put it 2100. That puts it at 2.1 seconds. Start below. If you put it at 100% here, even if your pet's at 99% or hit fighting something extremely simple, you'll burn through bandages healing him from 99 to 100. So I try to do it at 90% because my pet heal with vet usually does somewhere closer to 12 to 14% bandage. So I'm getting pretty close to that threshold at 90. After the 2 seconds is up, he's probably going to be right where I need him to be to get him back up to full. So I do 90% there. Excuse me. Show heal countdown. The reason I do it's not necessary. Obviously, if you want to read down here, it'll say you start to apply bandages. But the reason I do it is that I want to be able to focus on my character and know that I'm actually healing my pet, because there are some times whenever he's engaged in something and it's on like a hill or something weird that I'll think I'm close enough, but he's not actually getting the heal. And if I'm focused on 2 or 3 different mobs and I'm poisoned or something weird, I may not realize that I'm not within range to heal my pet. So what the countdown does is it puts a little number above him, and I'll show that. I don't think anything damage him. It'll put numbers above him, 1, 2 countdown whenever you are doing your bandaging. So extremely useful whenever you're not 100% sure. Get that bandage. Here we go. All right. So come on. Too damn efficient. But we'll let him get beat on here for a second, and then I will show you. Let's just say all stay. So let's just say that I'm right here, and I'm thinking that my pet's gonna get healed. Well, I'm too far away, so I might think that I'm close enough, but I'm not. So when you get a little bit closer, you'll see it'll start to tick up whenever he gets low enough. That is healing. Turn it back on. Now that. So as you can see, it'll start counting up 1, 2, 1, 2, and that's going to be me bandaging my pet up. So it lets me know that it's going to be active and my pet is about to receive a heal. So like I said, this is going to be a series. I'm going to go into the next episode is going to be how to tame effectively, what to do with honor taming, and we're also going to go over some locations in the follow-up of that, probably on where to get the tames, what might be your style, and what tames are good for what, because every single tame you're going to get in one way or the other, whether it be their actual damage itself, because this isn't just physical damage. Some pets have a wide variety of damage. So this one is going to be 40% physical, 40% fire, 20% energy. So if something is got a very high physical and fire resistance, I'm only going to be doing the energy damage to it, or mostly. And only having 20% there, this pet would not be the one to take into battle for something like that. So just something to keep in mind. Also, where to put the power scrolls into your pet, what is the most effective way to do it. Are 120s worth it? There's a lot to go into, and I would absolutely love to go over everything in one video, but that would be incredibly long. So what we're going to do is I'm probably going to get the next video out. I'm going to try my best to get it tomorrow. I'm trying to do daily videos, and we'll be going over the ins and outs of how to tame, what the process is, how to tame hostile creatures without having a musician there to do peacemaking, and a couple other tips and tricks I've learned to not have to burn through your honor points just to tame something. Those are a little bit more tedious to get whenever you found something that you want to tame. So, as always, thank you guys for listening, watching. If you didn't see it in the beginning, please subscribe. It means the world to me, you guys. I'm getting a lot of feedback on the videos, and already up to 71 subscribers, which is more than I ever thought I would be at in January. So thank you guys so much. Love every one of you, and see y'all in the next video.